Hello, YouTube. Guys, as Twitch viewers get the intro twice. Okay, so you've probably already noticed something. Well, this is basically how I'm going to make a very special announcement on stream. Just give me a sec. Just gotta. There is one preparation I'm gonna have to hide for a few minutes. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to hide the screen for a few minutes, so I will let you guys know when that happens. But that being said, I won't take super long. Let's see here. If you're familiar with this game, you might be able to figure out what I'm preparing for. You know, considering how frustrated I've been getting with like Prism Live's refusal to like let me see. You know, there's two things I wish the game would add. It would be like the ability to like automatically sort your ships by construction. And they and honestly, if it hadn't been for that like event that I had to go to at the start before this, I actually would have done this ahead of time. Oh hey, I hear ready for the special event announcement. I'm not like trying to stall for time on purpose. Like unfortunately, Paradox has not added a way for me to like automatically sort ships by construction dates. In hindsight, if it hadn't been for like other stuff last night, I probably would have like set all this up. But like I did at least get the most important thing that I need. You can probably spot what it is if you're familiar with what countries existed during World War II. Yes, I did change the name of the United States to my vTuber name. No, it's not like an ego thing. You'll understand why when I'm done. What do I want to use the fourth research slot on? Before they like revamped the tank and aircraft designer, I would have probably gone for like, I don't know, synthetic oil experiments or hell, maybe even fuel refining. But since but if I do wind up going in further with this game, I do want to like be able to like do something. So let's see. Only thing I'm still almost forgot about trucks. We need those for our supply. I'm so used to games where you can just like scroll the mouse around it and it'll move the map. Oh wait. God damn it, I forgot.
All in. Advance. All in.
not too bad for drawing a line, although I probably will fix it up later for what I need to do.
Listen up.
Just gonna put all my planes in one area. I was trying to figure out if I had any naval bombers, since I always sell those off. Also, since I have like one of those electric grills that I want to test in like a few minutes or so, I'll probably like pause the stream, or rather put the stream on the I'm away from stream aim at the moment, then I can go salt this strip steak I got. Just giving you a heads up. Would have done so before the stream, but well, as I mentioned, that wasn't really an option. Only thing I really would love to do is decide on who I want as generals and admirals.
Ready to move.
I would go with Omar Bradley, but well, he's currently a general. Also, he's not a field marshal. So let's see here. I'm currently only using infantry, so Mark Clark, even though I've heard mixed things about his actual service record, and I could use this guy for either infantry or tanks, but you know what? I'll stick with, like, infantry commanders.
Listen up.
Chester Nimitz. And just because I don't think I've ever used this guy, I'll let him round up things. We do not have any generals for the Air Force. Mainly because, well, at the time this game is set, the Air Force was actually still part of the Army. So yeah.
Fall in.
I may have changed another country's name just for the sake of making a funny screenshot or so. I actually would have changed more, but well, something happened. I'm not sure what exactly happened. And with, like, the syntax or whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Now, it's tempting to... Now, I could, in theory, go down suspend the persecution, but... In fact, if I was really lucky with RNG, I would seriously consider going down for Union Representation Act. But that's not an option. I'd be researching doctrines right now if it wasn't for the fact that, well, those got changed so you unlocked an army experience. We'll keep Kentucky, so that's perfectly... I'm not going to use light tanks. Tanks. Thanks. This is just so I can get rid of that annoying notification. I do know it might seem odd that I said I didn't want to focus too much on military stuff. Then I immediately researched the (1936) heavy battleships. But well, I do enjoy building in my state's the ship named after my home state in this game, and that's the hull that it uses. We cannot do Union Representation Act. We need a lot more senators. So let's see what my options are. I will need to go down this path, and if I'm not mistaken, the advertisers we get are free, and political power and stability is always nice. Extra research slot. Or I could work on getting my population up. Pretty late for Ethiopia. I need to hire a certain person before we can do our next focus, but Union Representation Act. Work is a core part of human life, and organizing into a union is a fundamental part of organizing a democratic society. It is only proper that we should recognize this and ensure that unions have mandatory representation in Congress. It ensures a comfortable majority in Congress. This majority will be restored in any future election, and if it should be lost in the meantime. Get event, Silver Legion protest. This will move you closer to a civil war. What could possibly go wrong? Slowly but surely, we are recovering from the Depression. Now, I want to... Now, I want to have 150 political power by the time I... get down here. I know it might seem odd that I just said that, but I immediately started spending political power. Well, you'll see why by the time I'm done. Hindenburg incident. That's... God damn it. I hate it when that happens. This is a bit harder to read after January 6th. Now, ideally, I want to finish this focus before the Civil War fires off. But it's not the end of the world if I can't. Aw, man, I want to just... It would have been great if she'd, like, been able to, like, survive. That is actually a possibility, by the way. Don't mind me, just building a bunch of mills. I don't really care what Austria does, so you know what? Let them break the treaty. Right. Have they added the Montana class to Azure Lane? In case you're curious, it's there. It's we can get rid of. We cannot get rid of the economic debuff we have by just going to partial mobilization. Unfortunately, you'd think you'd be able to, but alas. If it wasn't for the laws and daily political power game, I actually would go for grant all 3 statehoods. And here we go. I just need to do one thing. And here we go, American Civil War. We can go straight up to partial mobilization.
Ready. Attention.
I forgot. You're probably wondering why I gave Texas its own army. Well, long story short, oil. I don't know why I'm getting notifications for states that already broke away, but whatever. I seem to remember the Confederacy being a lot stronger than this. Could be wrong, though, since... Or maybe it's just bad RNG. And again, like, normally I'd, like, just finish training at my units.
Ready, sir. Move out. Commands. Ready.
I do like my tank destroyers, so I'll research that next.
Attention. Ready to move. on, move out. Listen up. All in. Ready.
Yeah, the Confederacy it's done for. If I can make a break for like New Orleans, that's pretty much game over for them.
Attention. All in.
After we win this war, I'm going to have to pause the game because there's one change I need for the announcement.
Ready. Pushing them back, sir.
Well, it's the country that I changed the name of is my own country, like, and it's because of it as I figured out a way to make a really unique version of the announcement I want to make. You'll see why by the time we're done. I'm done with the stream. Look at all that manpower. I say we get rid of our limited. Just give me a second so I can do one thing.
Commands.
All right, I'm back. I had to fix something. Nope, just Andreas Rebel. Like, okay, it's just cosmetic. Like, functionality. Wise, it's the same. Okay. What's the name of that faction, you might be wondering? I'll explain one by the time I'm done. Oh. I forgot that I changed Japan's name to Akuma Miko. You know what? If you want to clip this and send this to Akuma Miko just to piss her off, go ahead. Oh, it's just a bit funny, just so I can take a screenshot of this meme. Like, I'm actually probably not going to play for, like, super long because, well, I'm about to accomplish the main point of this stream. Alright, I just have something to change on my channel name. Now, if you'll refresh your chat as the page, you'll notice something a bit different. That's right. I joined a VTuber group. I can't mention any of the other members now since, well, I want them to like be able to like announce it on their own, and I don't have a Discord server I can link to because, well, okay, there is one, but it's like one of those members only ones. But this is basically how I decided to announce that I'm part of this group. Oh boy. Yep. And just let me send this to the person who... Okay, so basically what I decided it was, since Hearts of Iron 4's faction name system will, if you join to an event, play a pop-up telling you who X country has joined, and Hearts of Iron 4 is pretty important to my channel, I figured this is the perfect thing for me to do so. Now, I did actually put a little bit more thought into, like, the names. If I was going to do, like, a proper, like, follow-up with this, I would do more actual effort. Like, I might, for example, have my live 2D model up there instead. Like, I actually thought of trying to change a few other countries' names just so I could have some funny stuff. But unfortunately, like, I could not get my name changed for Germany to work, and well, changing names other than the United States and Japan basically made it so that those were the only ones that would have their name, that would have names. You'd think they'd have, like, a unique focus tree for all the, at least, like, a shared one for all the British colonies. Strangely enough, they do not have have Egypt released, even though that would actually be historically accurate. Like, the UK and France, they also should have, like, a French Indochina puppet, although that one they could add since, well, the next one is guaranteed to focus on, like, Southeast Asia. Or rather, like, the Pacific Theater, specifically. I know they're doing Japan and the Chinese warlords, and they've also pretty much confirmed that Korea is becoming a thing, so if I had to guess, I'd say, like, overall updates to China and the Chinese warlords and Manchukuo. Maybe British Malaya and the Dutch East Indies and the Philippines, for that matter. And maybe also French Indochina. And definitely Siam or Thailand. Like, I guess my question is, after they do Ooh, East Asia. What's next? I mean, they could do the Dominion since Britain's. They could also do a rest of Europe pact since Luxembourg, Albania, and Ireland don't have focus trees. Although then again, Luxembourg's the most notable contributor, and well, it's tiny. Plus, they didn't do give Belgium. They didn't have it share a focus tree with Belgium. I guess they could do the Caribbean, but and maybe Africa? They did just do the Middle East with Graveyard of Empires, so I doubt that. But yeah, I fully expect like within like a year or two we'll get a new Hearts of Iron 5 will be announced. Or at least they'll say this is the final DLC. Whew. This way, in case you're wondering why I decided to do that, even though it's pretty random, it's actually a fun trick I found out. See, if you go to war with two countries, assuming there isn't like some in-game rule preventing it, it's pretty much guaranteed that if one of those countries has a faction and the other does not, the country that's not part of a faction will join the other country's faction. Which means that if I declare war on Japan and nationalist Spain, well, huh. Well, it looks like my localization only worked for the original name. But you know what? I was gonna call it a stream anyway, since I need to lay down. I'm only functioning on like 4 hours of sleep, and honestly, I was half tempted to cancel the stream. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'm Endres Rebel, and I'll see you on my next assignment. Later.